Hey everybody, welcome to this week's social emotional learning lesson. Today we are going to talk about something that you may have heard before. Some of you may have not. I'm really excited to talk about this. Our word for today is empathy. Have you heard of the word empathy before? Let's go ahead and jump in. Let me move my screen out of the way so that you can see these words better. This is our plan for today. We are going to talk about what empathy is. Then we are going to talk about why it is important, how to show empathy. We are going to read a little bit more of the one and only Ivan. That's going to be in a separate video that you can go click on. And then if you're interested in it, you can join me for another yoga session this week. Move my box out of the way again so you can see the picture. What is empathy? Basically, empathy is understanding someone's feelings and showing support for them. That doesn't mean that you have to have gone through the same situation that they might be going through. It just means that you imagine how they're feeling, you understand what those feelings are, and then you show the support for them after. So it's kind of a multi-step process, and it can take some practice for sure. It's something that we have to use our brain muscles and really practice over and over again to get good at it. But it's good to start now while you're young, and then you're going to have it perfectly done by the time you are a teenager and adult. As you see here in this picture, it looks like the boy in the striped shirt is a little bit behind in his video game, and then the person with the overalls on and the glasses is winning. I want you to think for a second, how would you show empathy to the boy in the striped shirt if he's feeling really sad or defeated? If maybe you can see in his face that he doesn't look happy, maybe he looks embarrassed. I want you to think for a second, what could you do to show empathy to that boy if you were there watching him play the game and he was losing and he was upset about it? So before we answer that question, I want to talk to you about why empathy is important. For one thing, it helps us build connection with the people around us, because in order to show empathy, you have to try to understand how people are feeling. That's going to help us connect with other people, right? The more empathy we have, the more helpfulness we are going to have in our community. It just helps us make better decisions that involve not just how we're feeling, but involve how other people are feeling as well. And then it just makes us feel good about ourselves. We naturally want to be able to help people. We want to support others. And in building that community, it feels really good for us too. Those are just a couple of reasons why empathy is important. Could you think of any more? Let's get back to the boy with the video games. And I also want you to think about Ivan as well. I have this picture of the gorilla here. How would we show empathy first for the boy who was losing his video game? Maybe he was feeling sad or he looked embarrassed. What are some of the things we could say to him if we felt like we wanted to reach out? I have a few things listed here. You can read them and I'll read them out loud as well. You could say, "This must be hard for you. I think I understand how you feel. How can I help you? I am thinking about you and your feelings. I am here to support you if you need help." Sometimes when someone is feeling sad or angry or embarrassed, just having someone who understands how they're feeling can really help validate them or make them feel like their feelings are important to other people. So these are all things that we could say to our friend who was losing the video game. We could say, "This must be tough. I think I understand how you feel. Can I help you with anything?" Or, "I'm thinking about you and your feelings." And in the case of a video game, we could always say, "You can try again next time. Practice makes permanent," right? I want you to switch gears now and think about Ivan, okay? Think about the gorilla. He's stuck in a cage. He has a couple of friends. He has Stella, he has Bob, he has Julia, but he's alone most of the time. And from what we've been reading so far, it sounds like he feels pretty sad about some things that happened in his past. How could we show empathy for Ivan if we were Ivan's friend? We've never been stuck in a cage at the mall before. We don't know exactly how he's feeling, but we can imagine how he's feeling, right? We can use our imaginations and figure out some of the feelings that he might have. So we can say all of these things to him as well, right? We could say, this must be really hard for you being stuck in a cage in the mall. And a lot of people aren't very kind to you. Is there anything I can do to help you? Do you just need to talk or have someone spend time with you? What do you need from me? Those are all ways that we can show empathy. And as we read more in this book, I want you to think, especially this week, about how you would show empathy to Ivan, because the chapters we're going to read, there's some situations where I think we can show a lot of empathy. So think about that as you're listening to the story, and then get back to me and let me know what you come up with. So as I mentioned, the book reading is a separate video, but it's posted under the assignment. If you have any issues viewing it or anything, just let me know. And then we have our yoga video this week as well, if you'd like to join me for that. But that is all I have for this week. Thank you so much for your attention and for being so excited to learn about our social emotional learning process. If you have any questions for me at all, as always, you can email me or you can set up a Zoom meeting with me. I'd love to get to know you a little bit more. I know things have been kind of tough with us not sure when we're going back to school and what's safe and what isn't. But I want you to know that I am here for you. Mrs. Allman is here for you. And I hope you have a wonderful week. Thank you. Take care. Bye.